What if I told you that the age of dinosaurs isn't entirely over? That creatures who swam in prehistoric oceans, who literally watched the dinosaurs rise and fall, are still with us today, in the deepest, darkest corners of our planet. There are living fossils, think of them, as nature's time capsules that have stayed almost exactly the same for hundreds of millions of years. They're relics of a lost world, survivors of disasters that wiped out almost everything else on Earth. Today, we're exploring the abyss to find them. These are the ancient ocean creatures you won't believe still exist. We'll start with a creature so common, we almost forget it's there. Yet its family tree is one of the oldest on the planet, the jellyfish. These ghostly gelatinous drifters have been pulsing through our oceans for at least 500 million years, with some evidence suggesting it could be closer to 600 million. To put that in perspective, they were here long before the first trees ever grew on land. They are the ultimate survivors, having weathered 5 different mass extinctions. So, what's the secret to their incredible staying power? Simplicity? Jellyfish don't have brains, bones, or hearts. They get by with just a basic nerve net, like a simple web of biological wiring to sense the world around them. And that simple body plan, it's turned out to be one of the most successful designs ever. They first appeared during the Cambrian explosion, a time that was like evolution's brainstorming session, full of wild new ideas. Their unique life cycle allowed them to conquer the open ocean. Some even evolved bioluminescence, the ability to create their own light, essentially carrying a built-in lantern to put on mesmerizing light shows in the crushing dark of the deep sea. From the nearly invisible to the gigantic lion's mane with tentacles stretching over 100 feet. Jellyfish are proof that sometimes the simplest ideas are the best. Next up is a creature that looks like it swam right out of a Jules Verne novel, the nautilus. This cephalopod, a cousin to squids and octopuses, is a true living fossil. Its ancestors go back a mind-boggling 500 million years, predating not just the dinosaurs, but most fish, too. While its relatives evolved to lose their shells, the nautilus kept its famous coiled home, a piece of ancient architecture that has barely changed for eons. Living deep in the Indo-Pacific, the nautilus cruises through the dark using a kind of jet propulsion. The animal itself only lives in the newest, outermost chamber of its shell. The other chambers are filled with gas. And the nautilus uses them like the ballast tanks of a submarine to perfectly control its buoyancy, letting it hover effortlessly in the water. Compared to modern cephalopods, the nautilus is like an antique car next to a sports car. It has simple eyes that work like pinhole cameras, and up to 90 tentacles that are more like sticky fingers than the powerful, sucker-lined arms of an octopus. Living for over 20 years, they're one of the longest-lived cephalopods. But here's the sad part. This ancient lineage is in trouble. People have overfished them for their beautiful shells, putting them at risk. It's now up to us to make sure these 500-million-year-old mariners don't disappear forever. Get ready to meet a creature that's not at all what it seems. This is the horseshoe crab, and despite the name, it isn't a crab at all. It's actually more closely related to spiders and scorpions. These armored animals are genuine prehistoric titans. Having crawled along the seafloor for over 450 million years, they've survived ice ages and the shifting of continents. Looking almost identical today as they did when the first dinosaurs roamed the land. Its body is a masterclass in ancient engineering. A hard, helmet-like shell protects it from predators, and that long, intimidating-looking tail isn't a weapon at all. It's a tool used like a built-in lever to flip itself over if it gets knocked upside down by a wave. But the most incredible thing about the horseshoe crab is flowing in its veins. It has bright blue, copper-based blood. This blood contains special cells that act like a microscopic security team. When they find dangerous bacteria, they instantly clot around them, building a barrier that traps the threat. This amazing ability led to the development of a test called LOL, which is used to make sure our vaccines and medical implants are sterile, saving countless human lives. This ancient survivor isn't just a relic, it's a pillar of modern medicine. In the freezing, crushing black depths of the North Atlantic and Arctic, there lives a creature that completely redefines our concept of time. This is the Greenland shark, the longest living vertebrate on the entire planet. Scientists estimate these sharks can live for at least 250 years, with some possibly reaching the mind-boggling age of 500. That means there are sharks swimming in the ocean right now that were born during the Renaissance. Figuring out their age was a huge mystery, since they don't have the bony structures scientists normally use. The breakthrough came from radiocarbon dating their eye lenses. These lenses contain proteins that formed before birth and don't change, acting almost like a tree's rings, a biological certificate of birth that records their age. The secret to their epic lifespan is a super slow metabolism, which is like their body is running in a permanent low-power mode, making their energy last for centuries. They grow at a glacial pace, less than a centimeter a year, and don't even start reproducing until they about 150 years old. But this slow-motion life makes the species incredibly fragile. Because they reproduce so rarely, their population is as fragile as an ancient forest. It takes centuries to grow, but can be damaged quickly, making their protection a top priority. If you think these living relics are as fascinating as we do, and you want to see more dives into our planet's mysteries, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what we uncover next. Now for something that looks like it slithered straight out of a nightmare. Meet the lamprey, a jawless fish whose ancestors swam the Earth at least 360 million years ago. These eel-like creatures are living fossils, offering a chilling window into what early vertebrate life looked like. For hundreds of millions of years, their basic design has stayed eerily the same. What are they famous for? Well, it's pretty gruesome. Lampreys are parasites. They don't have jaws, but they have a round, suction-cup mouth lined with rings of sharp, spiky teeth. They use this horrifying mouth to latch onto other fish, scraping away their skin to feed on their blood and fluids. Their life cycle is just as strange. They spend years as larvae buried in riverbeds before transforming into their parasitic adult form. As one of the oldest vertebrate groups still around, the lamprey is like a living Rosetta Stone for genetics, holding vital clues in its DNA about the origins of all animals with backbones, including us. This next creature might be the most famous living fossil of them, all a fish that literally came back from the dead. This is the coelacanth. For decades, the coelacanth was only known from fossils. Scientists were sure it had died out with the dinosaurs about 66 million years ago. The case was closed. Then, on December 23, 1938, a museum curator in South Africa named Marjorie Kurt-Tenelitimer got a call from a fishing boat captain about a strange fish he'd caught. What she found was a 5-foot-long pale blue fish with hard scales and 4 fleshy limb-like fins. It was a living, breathing coelacanth. The discovery was called one of the greatest zoological finds of the 20th century. It was like finding a living dinosaur. Coelacanths belong to a group called lobe-finned fishes. Their fins aren't flimsy like most fish. They are supported by bones, almost like a rough draft for legs. This makes them a critical link, showing us the blueprint for how life made the great leap from the sea onto land. They are slow-moving, deep-water fish that hide in volcanic caves by day and hunt at night. After a second species was found in Indonesia in 1997, the story of the coelacanth became a powerful reminder that the deep ocean still holds incredible secrets and that sometimes extinction isn't forever. Our final creature is a heavyweight champion of survival, an armored giant that's been swimming in our planet's rivers and seas since the time of the dinosaurs. The sturgeon family goes back about 200 million years. You can instantly recognize these prehistoric fish by their long, shark-like bodies, which are covered in rows of bony plates called scutes, like a built-in suit of medieval armor, giving them a truly primeval look. Sturgeons are some of the biggest and longest-living freshwater fish on Earth. Some species can grow to enormous sizes and live for over 100 years, but they take a long time to mature, with some not reproducing until they're 20 or 30 years old. This slow lifestyle, combined with human activity, has put them in grave danger. In the 19th and 20th centuries, they were overfished for their meat and especially their eggs, prized as caviar, which destroyed their populations. Today, they're threatened by habitat loss and by dams that block their ancient migration paths, which is like building a wall across a highway they've used since the age of dinosaurs. 2/3 of all sturgeon species are now critically endangered, making this dinosaur-era survivor one of the most threatened groups of animals on the entire planet. From the jet-propelled nautilus to the time-defying Greenland shark and the resurrected coelacanth, the deep ocean is basically a living museum. These creatures aren't just curiosities, They are masters of survival. They've lived through planetary catastrophes and the relentless march of time, carrying the story of our world's ancient past in their very DNA, like living hard drives of natural history. They are a profound connection to a prehistoric world that, in the darkest depths, isn't entirely gone. They prove that life, in its most ancient and stubborn forms, still thrives in the shadows. Which of these ancient survivors amazed you the most? Are there any other living fossils you think we should have included? Let us know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.